Stop throwing away your money and years of your life replanting the same vegetables every single spring like 99% of gardeners do. The smart ones, the old school homesteaders and lifelong food growers who literally eat for free, figured this out decades ago. Plant these crops once and then harvest fresh. Organic food for the rest of your life with almost zero work. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the 29 most bulletproof, insanely productive perennial food plants that keep giving year after year after year, no replanting, no babying, no bullshit. You already know a couple of them, but when you see numbers 7, 13, and 21, your jaw is going to drop. These are the exact plants that turn an ordinary backyard into a food factory that feeds you forever. Let's go. Plant 1. Asparagus. Asparagus is a perennial vegetable that produces tender, nutrient-rich spears year after year once established. A well-planted asparagus bed can remain productive for 15-20 years, making it a long-term, low-maintenance addition to your garden. Its feathery foliage adds visual interest after the harvest season, while the spears are packed with vitamins and fiber, perfect for healthy meals. It thrives in full sun with well-drained, fertile soil. Preparing the soil with compost before planting helps the crowns establish strong roots. Once established, asparagus requires minimal care aside from weeding, mulching, and occasional fertilization. Bonus tip: harvest spears when they reach 6 to 8 inches tall for optimal tenderness. Mulch to retain moisture and plant nearby tomatoes or parsley to naturally deter pests and improve overall growth. Plant 2. Artichoke. Artichokes are perennial plants that produce large, tender flower buds year after year once established. They are not only delicious but also visually striking, with their spiky, thistle-like foliage adding ornamental value to your garden. The edible buds are perfect for steaming, roasting, or grilling, and they are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and essential vitamins, making them a nutritious addition to any meal. Once planted, an artichoke patch can remain productive for 5-10 years, offering a reliable source of fresh, gourmet-quality vegetables with minimal effort. Artichokes thrive in full sun with well-drained, fertile soil. They benefit from regular watering, especially during dry spells, and appreciate a layer of mulch to retain soil moisture and suppress weeds. Pruning spent leaves and removing any diseased foliage encourages healthy growth and increases bud production for the following season. Their deep root systems also help improve soil structure over time, making them a valuable component of a sustainable garden. Bonus tip: remove older leaves each season to improve airflow and reduce disease risk. Mulch around the base to conserve moisture, and plant herbs like basil or thyme nearby to naturally deter pests and enhance overall plant health. Artichokes also pair well with companion vegetables, helping create a thriving, productive garden ecosystem. Plant 3. Collard. Collards are hardy perennial leafy greens that produce nutrient-rich leaves year after year. Their large, dark green leaves are packed with vitamins and fiber, making them perfect for soups, stews, and sautés. Once established, collards are low maintenance and continue to provide reliable harvests for multiple seasons. They thrive in full sun to partial shade in well-drained, fertile soil. Regularly harvesting outer leaves encourages new growth and keeps the plant productive. Bonus tip: pick leaves frequently to maintain tenderness and prevent flowering. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near companion herbs to naturally deter pests and support healthy growth. Plant 4. Jerusalem artichoke. Jerusalem artichokes are perennial tuber plants that produce nutty, edible tubers year after year. Once established, they spread naturally, making them a low-maintenance and highly productive addition to any garden. The tubers are versatile in the kitchen, perfect for roasting, mashing, or adding to soups and stews, and they are packed with fiber and nutrients. They thrive in full sun with well-drained soil. Tubers can be harvested in late fall or winter, and leaving some in the ground ensures regrowth for the next season. Their tall, sunflower-like stems also add ornamental value, attracting pollinators and providing structure in your garden. Bonus tip: mulch around the base to protect tubers during winter and retain soil moisture. Plant near other vegetables to improve soil fertility and naturally deter pests, creating a healthier, more productive garden. Plant 5. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is a perennial vegetable that produces tart, flavorful stalks year after year. Once established, it becomes a low-maintenance source of fresh produce, perfect for pies, jams, and sauces. It thrives in full sun with well-drained, fertile soil. Cutting outer stalks regularly encourages new growth and keeps the plant productive for many seasons. Bonus tip: avoid harvesting in the first year to allow roots to establish. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and remove flower stalks promptly to focus energy on stalk production. Plant 6. Egyptian walking onion. Egyptian walking onions are perennial alliums that produce clusters of small bulbs, or topsets, at the ends of their stalks each year. Once planted, they multiply and return year after year, offering a continuous supply of onions with minimal effort. They thrive in full sun, with well-drained soil, and tolerate a range of conditions. Their unique growth habit allows the topsets to fall and root naturally, spreading new plants across the garden. Bonus tip: harvest bulbs after the foliage dies back for best flavor. Mulch to conserve soil moisture, and plant near other vegetables to naturally repel pests and improve overall garden health. Plant 7. Garlic chives. Garlic chives are perennial herbs that produce flat, green leaves with a mild garlic flavor year after year. They also produce white flowers that attract pollinators, adding both culinary and ornamental value to your garden. They thrive in full sun to partial shade with well-drained soil. Once established, garlic chives require minimal maintenance and will return reliably each season. Bonus tip: harvest leaves regularly to encourage new growth. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near vegetables to naturally repel pests while enhancing overall garden productivity. Plant 8. Sorrel. Sorrel is a hardy perennial herb that produces tangy, lemon-flavored leaves year after year. Its leaves are perfect for salads, soups, sauces, and smoothies, providing a reliable and flavorful addition to your garden. It thrives in full sun to partial shade with well-drained, fertile soil. Regular harvesting of outer leaves encourages continuous growth and keeps the plant productive. Bonus tip: cut leaves frequently to prevent flowering and maintain tenderness. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near vegetables to attract pollinators and enhance overall garden health. Plant 9. Lovage. Lovage is a perennial herb with a flavor similar to celery and parsley, producing tall, aromatic stalks year after year. Its deep roots make it drought tolerant, and once established, it provides a constant supply of leaves, stems, and seeds for cooking. It grows best in full sun to partial shade with rich, well-drained soil. Dividing clumps every few years expands your garden or allows sharing with friends. Bonus tip: cut outer leaves first to encourage continuous growth. Mulch to retain moisture, and dry leaves for winter use to enjoy fresh herbal flavors year-round. Plant 10. American groundnuts. American groundnuts are perennial legumes that produce both edible tubers and protein-rich beans year after year. Their underground tubers taste nutty, and the climbing vines fix nitrogen in the soil, improving garden fertility. They grow well in full sun to partial shade with well-drained soil. Once established, they require minimal maintenance as new shoots continually emerge each season. Bonus tip: harvest tubers after foliage dies back in late summer or fall for maximum size. Mulch in winter to protect them, and plant alongside other vegetables to naturally enrich the soil. Before we move on to the next plant, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. If you want to build a garden that practically grows itself, gives you free food year after year, and teaches you secrets most gardeners don't know, subscribing now ensures you never miss these life-changing tips. Plus, you'll join a community of gardeners who love sharing hacks, bonus tricks, and harvest strategies that actually work. Plant 11. Strawberry. Strawberries are perennial fruit plants that produce sweet, juicy berries year after year once established. Their runners naturally create new plants, expanding your harvest without extra effort. They thrive in full sun with well-drained, slightly acidic soil. Regularly trimming old leaves and runners encourages stronger plants and bigger fruits. Bonus tip: rotate runners to expand your patch without buying more plants. Remove flowers in the first year to strengthen roots, and plant near onions or garlic to naturally deter pests. Plant 12. Blackberries. Blackberries are perennial fruiting shrubs that produce large, juicy berries year after year. Their vigorous canes can spread naturally, providing abundant harvests with minimal maintenance. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Pruning after harvest encourages new cane growth and maximizes fruit production for the next season. Bonus tip: train canes along a trellis to save space and improve airflow. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near herbs like thyme or mint to naturally deter pests and improve berry flavor. Plant 13. Blueberries. Blueberries are perennial shrubs that produce sweet, antioxidant-rich berries year after year. Their vibrant fruits are perfect for fresh eating, smoothies, jams, or desserts, and homegrown berries often taste much better than store-bought. They thrive in full sun with acidic, well-drained soil. Annual pruning encourages new growth and maximizes fruit production while keeping the bush healthy. Bonus tip: plant multiple varieties for extended harvest and better cross-pollination. Mulch to retain moisture, and add acidic compost or pine needles each year to maintain soil acidity and boost berry size and sweetness. Plant 14. Currants. Currants are hardy perennial shrubs that produce clusters of tart, flavorful berries year after year. Their early blooms attract pollinators, and the fruits can be eaten fresh, baked, or made into jams and jellies. They grow well in full sun to partial shade with fertile, well-drained soil. Regular pruning encourages new growth and improves berry production. Bonus tip: thin older wood each year to improve sunlight penetration. Mulch to retain moisture, and plant near nitrogen-fixing crops to naturally enhance soil fertility. Plant 15. Gooseberry. Gooseberries are hardy perennial shrubs that produce tart, nutrient-rich berries year after year. Their dense growth can also serve as a natural hedge. While the fruits are perfect for pies, jams, and fresh eating, they thrive in full sun to partial shade and well-drained soil. Regular pruning encourages new shoots and maximizes berry production while keeping the bush healthy. Bonus tip: remove the oldest branches each year to stimulate growth. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near aromatic herbs like thyme or rosemary to naturally deter pests. Plant 16. Grapes. Grapes are perennial vines that produce clusters of sweet, juicy fruits year after year once established. They grow vigorously on trellises or arbors, providing shade, beauty, and a continuous harvest for fresh eating, juice, or drying into raisins. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Regular pruning encourages new growth and higher fruit production while keeping the vines manageable. Bonus tip: train vines along a sturdy trellis for better sunlight exposure and airflow. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant multiple varieties for improved cross-pollination and larger, sweeter grapes. Plant 17. Jujube. Jujube is a drought-tolerant perennial fruit tree that produces small, sweet, apple-like fruits year after year. Its fragrant flowers attract pollinators, and once established, it provides a low-maintenance, long-term source of nutritious fruit. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, with light pruning to remove old branches and shape the canopy. The tree tolerates heat, drought, and most pests, making it extremely resilient. Bonus tip: water deeply during the first few years to establish strong roots. Mulch around the base to conserve moisture, and espalier against a wall or fence to save space while maximizing fruit yield. Plant 18. Pineapple, guava. Pineapple guava is a hardy evergreen shrub that produces sweet tart fruits year after year. Its attractive flowers draw pollinators, and the plant adds both beauty and productivity to your garden with minimal maintenance. It grows well in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating drought and a range of climates. Light pruning helps maintain shape and encourages fruiting. Bonus tip: harvest fruits when they fall naturally for peak sweetness. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near nitrogen-fixing shrubs to improve soil fertility and fruit quality. Plant 19. Pomegranate. Pomegranate is a drought-tolerant perennial shrub that produces sweet, antioxidant-rich fruits year after year. Its vibrant flowers attract pollinators, and the plant remains low maintenance while delivering abundant harvests for decades. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, with occasional deep watering to support fruit development. Light pruning after harvest encourages new growth and maximizes future yields. Bonus tip: harvest fruits when fully ripe for the best flavor. Mulch around the base to conserve moisture, and plant near compatible varieties to improve cross-pollination and fruit size. Plant 20. Passion fruit. Passion fruit is a vigorous perennial vine that produces sweet, tangy fruits year after year once established. Its lush foliage provides shade and covers trellises or fences, while fragrant flowers attract pollinators to your garden. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, with moderate watering to support flowering and fruiting. Pruning encourages new growth and higher fruit production. Bonus tip: harvest fruits when they begin to wrinkle for peak sweetness. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and use a balanced, low-nitrogen fertilizer to encourage fruiting over leafy growth. Plant 21. Malabar spinach. Malabar spinach is a fast-growing, perennial vine that produces tender, nutrient-rich leaves throughout the growing season. Unlike regular spinach, it thrives in hot weather and provides a continuous harvest year after year. It grows best in full sun to partial shade with fertile, well-drained soil. Regularly harvesting the outer leaves encourages new growth and keeps the vine productive. Bonus tip: pinch back growing tips to promote bushier growth. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and train the vine on trellises or fences to save space and increase yield. Plant 22. Longevity spinach. Longevity spinach is a hardy perennial that produces nutritious leaves year-round once established. Its tender, slightly succulent leaves are perfect for salads, stir-fries, and smoothies, providing a reliable source of greens with minimal care. It grows well in full sun to partial shade with fertile, well-drained soil. Regular harvesting encourages continuous growth and keeps the plant productive. Bonus tip: harvest outer leaves first to stimulate new shoots, mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near flowering crops to attract pollinators and boost overall garden health. Plant 23. Okinawan spinach. Okinawan spinach is a hardy perennial leafy green that produces tender, mildly flavored leaves year after year. Unlike annual spinach, it tolerates heat and light frost, providing a reliable, continuous harvest throughout multiple seasons. It thrives in full sun to partial shade with fertile, well-drained soil. Regular harvesting of outer leaves encourages new growth and keeps the plant productive. Bonus tip: pick leaves frequently to prevent flowering and maintain tenderness. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near nitrogen-fixing crops to naturally boost leaf growth and productivity. Plant 24. Acacia. Acacia is a perennial herb that provides both edible leaves and nutrient-rich seeds year after year. Once established, it returns reliably, offering a continuous source of greens and superfood seeds for cooking, baking, or smoothies. It grows well in full sun to partial shade with well-drained soil. The plant spreads gradually, forming small clumps that can be divided to expand your garden. Bonus tip: harvest leaves regularly to encourage growth. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and plant near flowering vegetables to attract pollinators and boost overall garden productivity. Plant 25. Katuk. Katuk is a fast-growing perennial leafy shrub that produces tender, nutritious leaves year-round. Once established, it provides a steady supply of greens for soups, salads, and stir-fries with minimal maintenance. It thrives in full sun to partial shade and fertile, well-drained soil. Regular harvesting encourages new growth, keeping the plant productive and healthy. Bonus tip: pick young leaves for the best flavor and tenderness. Mulch to retain moisture, and prune occasionally to promote bushier growth and higher yields. Plant 26. Moringa. Moringa, the miracle tree, is a fast-growing perennial that produces nutrient-rich leaves, pods, and seeds year after year. Once established, it becomes a self-sustaining food source, offering superfood leaves for cooking, smoothies, or teas with minimal effort. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating heat, drought, and poor soil. Regular pruning stimulates new growth and ensures a continuous supply of leaves while keeping the tree healthy. Bonus tip: harvest young leaves for the most tender and nutritious results. Mulch around the base to retain moisture, and trimming branches encourages faster regrowth for a steady harvest. Plant 27, columnar fruit tree. Columnar fruit trees are compact, upright trees that produce fruit year after year while taking up minimal space. Perfect for small gardens, they yield apples, pears, or other fruits with very little maintenance. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Light pruning encourages vertical growth and maximizes fruit production, making harvesting easier without reducing yield. Bonus tip: mulch around the base to retain moisture. Plant multiple varieties nearby to improve pollination and get bigger, healthier fruit each season. Plant 28, peach. Peach trees are perennial fruit trees that produce sweet, juicy fruit year after year once established. Their fragrant blossoms attract pollinators, and the fruit is perfect for fresh eating, baking, or preserves. With proper care, peach trees can remain productive for 15 to 20 years, giving you a long-term source of delicious harvests. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Regular pruning maintains tree shape, removes old branches, and encourages new fruiting wood. Fertilizing in early spring and mulching around the base supports healthy growth and maximizes yields. Bonus tip: thin young fruits to allow the remaining peaches to grow larger and sweeter. Mulch to conserve soil moisture and reduce weeds. Planting near nitrogen-fixing plants or flowering herbs improves pollination and boosts fruit quality for many seasons. Plant 29. Fig trees are hardy, perennial fruit trees that produce sweet, nutrient-rich fruits year after year. Their large, lobed leaves add beauty to the garden, while the fruit can be eaten fresh, dried, or used in jams and baking. Fig trees are low maintenance, drought tolerant, and can remain productive for decades, making them a reliable long-term addition to any garden. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil, with occasional deep watering to encourage large, juicy fruits. Pruning helps maintain shape, remove old wood, and stimulate new growth for optimal fruit production. Fig trees also attract pollinators, supporting the overall garden ecosystem. Bonus tip: harvest figs when they are soft and slightly drooping for peak sweetness. Mulch around the base to retain moisture. Planting near nitrogen-fixing plants or companion herbs improves soil fertility, and tending nest tea encourages bigger, more flavorful fruits year after year. These 29 plants are not just crops. They're long-term investments in your health, your meals, and the beauty of your space. Gardening is a journey, and each season teaches patience, observation, and care. By planting with perennials, you're creating a garden that grows smarter with every year, giving you fresh, nutritious food for decades. Before you go, like this video if it helped, share it with fellow gardeners, and subscribe for more guides, tips, and tricks to turn your garden into a permanent source of abundance. Keep planting, keep harvesting, and let your garden reward you forever.